Hi everybody, Diane here, and this is just going to be a quick tour of part of the garden. Someone had requested seeing more of the garden. The pink there is Raphiolepis, and it's just beautiful. It's a shrub here that does very well in the dry heat, and it's currently in bloom. And there on the Japanese black pine, which is quite tall, we've got a climbing white iceberg rose that we just put there. We've got a new Carolina jasmine vine planted on the base of the arbor, and then there's a little bed here in the middle with oxalis, which is technically a weed, but my mom gave me a few and they've just spread, and they're pretty with pink flowers. During the day they're bright pink and opened up. Okay, and on this side of the trellis we have another vine that's coming up, and that'll have pink and white flowers. Those doves my grandma made in ceramics class when she was in her 90s, and so I really love those. And then a lot of times I'll be standing right about where those the little round bowl and rocks are when I do the dialogue on the videos, and we have a kind of a center area there with a hammock and some other plants. I'll maybe go over there a little bit later. Okay, the vegetables that we just put in, we've got 3 kinds of peppers here, and we do them in 5 gallons. It's easier here, and the soil's bad, so this way we can put nice soil in. And then we have a seedless Japanese cucumber here. We are now in the process of planting this little trough with herbs. I've got 2 in, and I've got 2 more going in. And we're going to have flat leaf parsley, basil, cilantro, and let's see, what's the 4th? Don't remember right now, but I'll tell you when I do. Okay, then here is some alyssum in the bottom or the base of this nice blue planter with a tangerine tree, and the sun's just hitting it now. It's full of blossoms, and that's about a year old, so we hope to get some fruit this year. And then here in another big blue pot is a little Meyer lemon tree, and I think we have some blossoms starting to come in on that as well. It really got hit hard with frost and cold this winter, but I think it'll do just fine. And then again, planting in containers, we have 4 different types of tomatoes. We have a cherry tomato, a San Diego tomato, a big boy tomato, and then a yellow tomato. So we're hoping those will do well. Also, this is yellow squash, and I'm going to have to plant that in 4 separate containers. It's in the little divided tray right now. So we get a lot of wind, and it's early evening or late afternoon right now. So if you see these pepper tree branches really going, yes, it's a windy place in the afternoons. And then this is the little seating area behind the house, and this is also where I sit sometimes and do dialogue for the videos. And I'm actually on a little path that goes further back, but it's under some big old junipers here, and they make for a really nice place back here to sit. So I sit back here at times as well. Sometimes you'll also see me and maybe see this fountain in the background. It's actually just like a little Lowe's or Home Depot fountain, and we hid it on top of a little wrought iron stand or table so that it looks like a wall fountain. It's on the back of the fireplace, and then we store a lot of our garden stuff, so it's handy. We just right here next to it. But we really enjoy it. I don't know if you can hear it, but it makes a really nice sound. And of course we train the ivy to go over it, so trying to make it look 100 years old. This is our composting area, and we hide our wheelbarrows back here behind the tall shrubs. And then we have more of these beautiful Raphiolepis that are currently in bloom. And so the compost bin is just basically 4x4s and mesh, and we throw grass and tea leaves and so forth in there, and we come out with some great mulch. In fact, we just bagged up 2 full bags of our own planting mix because the soil here is not good. So that's our mulch area. So we live in the suburbs, and we well, actually now we're in the city because our city has grown to about 115,000, and it's very hilly in our neighborhood. So there's a wrought iron fence that went right up this hill, and what we did was just cover it with honeysuckle and other vines. And the vines are kind of a pinkish white, and then the honeysuckle is just full of aroma. It's so beautiful when it starts to bloom and it's hot. Now I'm looking into the sun, so I can't tell what's going to happen here. But this is basically part of an embankment or hill, and we've started to plant this area out. We had huge pine trees that we had removed, and so it's all sunny now. We're planting herbs like lavender and rosemary. We actually have tons of lavender and rosemary already here, so we just are going to fill all that in, and then gravel paths that lead around the property. And there you can see that compost area I showed you. And we'll walk over somewhere else. These are some lavender that we really just planted not too long ago, and those are 5-gallon containers there, the black ones, so you can see how huge they've already gotten. They really like this soil. It's a hot, dry climate, and we just added a few more that'll be coming in. But they love this kind of climate and this soil. And then right behind the rosemary you can see there's verbena, which is also fairly new, but it's doing very well. Again, we do a lot of planting in containers. This is mint in this little white container. And, excuse me, the little rabbit on the right, I actually molded out of clay and fired and glazed, and he's lost his eyes and one ear, but he enjoys it by the mint. Okay, I'm looking in the sun again, so I hope you can see this. I've got my little miniature roses in the blue pots, and then this path actually leads down into my neighbor's property, and it's all the gravel paths like around the house. And maybe you can see they have a gazebo back there that has a beautiful vine every year that turns bright orange, but then that goes around the back, and it's bordered by the big shrubs on each side. Now I'm going to try to show you my pepper tree. Okay, now you're going to see our wort back here. This is the other side, the west side, and actually we planted some huge, now they're huge, but they're called weeping bottlebrush. If you've ever seen a bottlebrush, these are actually trees, and they have a weeping pattern. Just an immense amount of shade. Behind that there's about 10-foot tall privet, so this gives us a lot of privacy in this area. And I'll show you, we're gonna go down this little path now, and we've taken some dead shrubs out of here, so in order that I didn't kill myself and fall on them because I wasn't looking where I should be going, I've cut a little path through here. And we love to sit back here, especially in the evenings. We got a little 2-person chair, and if you can hear, there is traffic noise because again we're in the city. So there's more weeping bottlebrush back there. Maybe we'll go back a little further. I wanted to show you I have some bunnies, wild bunnies, who I leave carrots under this shrub for every night, and every morning they're gone. This is one of those weeping bottlebrush, and I don't know if you can see, but there's some red bottlebrush flowers, I guess you'd call them. They look like bottle brushes, just now coming in, and the hummingbirds love them. And then going into the backyard, when you're in the front yard, on the west side here, we planted, because it's very shady from these big weeping bottlebrush trees, and the nursery said don't plant them, they won't work there, but they sure have. So we've got ivy and gravel, and then that takes us around the side, and we end up in that back area that I showed you. This is a rose that's about ready to pop. It's just beautiful. I call this the Delta Rose, and it's on the sunny west side of the house. And I mean, this wall gets hot, folks. And so this is a tough rose. It was given to me by my mentor, who died at 94. She was decades older than me, but I felt like she was my age a lot of the time. And so this is the most beautiful treasure she could have given me right here. I'm going to try to get one more shot and see if I can show you the immensity of this pepper and the beautiful branching pattern. It is just a blessing, and it's a wonderful, looks like an old friend, this tree. It almost fell over in a mini tornado when it was just a baby, and Vernon, my dad, popped it back up, and it has gotten ginormous. So this is the seating area, and this is where we love to come after the heat of the day and have iced tea and just look at the work of our hands. We have done probably 90% of all of this planting and gravel paths and even the brick patio ourselves, so it's really satisfying to see it maturing, and so we really enjoy this area. Okay, this is the small little front entry courtyard area, and it's planted out with shrubs and needlepoint ivy, and then this is a beautiful jasmine which will be covered with flowers and scent this summer. And you can see we have some geraniums. We have a little orange tree in a pot which already smells wonderful, and then we have some bougainvillea, which I always wanted. Finally, a couple years ago it took off, and I think it's going to cover way up onto the roof. We have nandina, needlepoint ivy. I have an old wheelbarrow that my dad used to use that I put some flowers in that reminds me of my dad. Vern made this little fountain with the not alive, people even think he's alive sometimes, this little turtle. And then this is the sunny western sun hits this, so we have some plants here going up on little arbors. And my latest planting was these little mums in some cement planter boxes on this little brick wall, and so I planted the two small ones with these bright yellow and orange or rust colored mums. Alright folks, I hope you've enjoyed the little garden tour, and maybe we'll do one time to time as the seasons change and things flower and so forth. But thanks for watching, and next time we'll be back, and it'll be, of course, guess what the subject will be? Tea. Thanks. See you next time. Happy Easter to all my Christian friends who celebrate this beloved Christian holiday. Bye for now.